This press release we have called today is to set record straight about the issues that have been ongoing in Oton Community lands, orchestrated by one chief Emmanuel Orisha-Jolomi Udwaha and his cohorts from Abigborodo community. The Oton Community is a community located in Sapele local government area of Delta State. I wish to state and to correct the erroneous impression by a section of misinformed leaders in Abigborodo community, led by Chief Emmanuel Orisha-Jolomi Udwaha, in their quest to claim a land that is outside their purview and knowledge. While we do not want to join issues on the rightful owners of Oton land, it is pertinent to state some basic facts over the constitutional records regarding the true ownership of Oton land. Like I said, it is disheartening to see some disgruntled Ishekiri leaders under the cover of Abigborodo community. As part of the conspiracy, it baffles us that people from other communities in Ishekiri came under the same cover, because very many of them we know are not from Abigborodo. They came under the same cover, that they are members of Abigborodo, to conspire under the leadership of Chief Emmanuel Orisha-Jolomi Udwaha, conniving with others to abuse of power to wrestle Open land from Oton owners. History. The Oton land, for the record, is part of an expanse area of land which formed the Open Forest Reserve and considered under the Forestry Ordinance, Chapter 95, as amended by the Forestry Amendment Ordinance number 2 of 1927. Order number 33 of 1933, approved on the 30th day of July 1933. The ordinance was signed by W.E. Hunt. This is the ordinance. Made on the 30th day of July 1933. Like I said, the ordinance was signed by W.E. Hunt, Acting Lieutenant General, Southern Province. In this order, sir, the right to use the forest reserve was nil to non-communal owners, communal land owners. You have no right to enter into the forest reserve. The rights are only limited to landowners. When you are caught inside the forest reserve, you are prosecuted in a law court. Some persons went to jail. We have records of those who went to jail for encroachment into the forest reserve. The rules admitted to the landowners from whom the land that formed the Open Forest Reserve was taken. In the second schedule of order number 33, like I told you, the right admitted to landowners as shown stated that landowners at Oton include, take note of this area, Umugele, Okporo, Egageche. This old man of about 80 years sitting here is a descendant of Egageche, a grandson of Egageche. The father's name is in the legal document that I'm showing before you. whose descendant, Abigborodo Gageche, the son to David Gageche, is presently languishing in police custody under spurious and unfounded allegation by Emmanuel Chejolomi Udwan and his cohorts on false criminal allegations of kidnapping, malicious damage, and so on. And one of our other sons, Honorable Ogonov Abeke, false allegation of kidnapping. These people were arrested in a commando style in the night without us knowing the direction where they were taken to. We don't know who arrested them. All we saw the following 2-3 days was seeing them in court. We had in court that from information that they saw Abigborodo, they saw Abeke in court, taking them to a magistrate court that have no jurisdiction to try cases of alleged case of kidnapping, when the high courts that have jurisdiction are not on vacation. It is clear that it is a conspiracy to send these young people to incarceration where their bails cannot be granted because the magistrate court lacked jurisdiction to hear or to grant bail for kidnapping. For the records, Ofomala was one of the landowners of Otoyasere. Arieja, I'm a descendant of Arieja. This I am Deacon Dr. Arieja Austin. My father's name is here in this gazette law as owners of the land. If you look at paragraph paragraph 2 of order number 3 of 1952, I'm coming to the order, is the final amendment order of the forestry ordinance that was released by the colonial masters. The order states that all that piece of land containing 172 acres or thereabout situated in the eastern part of the reserve, immediately surrounding farmland belonging to the inhabitants of Umugele camp at Otoyasere, belonging, underline the word belonging, to the inhabitants that are mentioning Omugele, Egageche, Okporo, Ofomala, Arieja, Unushemi, Ubiogoro, Agoroke, Agboro, Idu, Emajemite, and others are legitimate owners of Otoyasere land in the second schedule order number 33 of 1933. The forestry ordinance was amended several times from 1927 to 1952. Not a name of an Abigborodo person was mentioned in any of the order as owners of land. Let's continue. The above named document was under the watchful eyes. This document I just highlighted was under the watchful eyes and approval of the Udogwu Okpe. Udogwu Okpe is Okpe Supreme Council, the body with the responsibility governing all Okpe lands. headed by Okakuro Ayemano, Okakuro A.E. Omarin, Okakuro Ojegba, Okakuro Abioroko, Okakuro Mejaine, Okakuro Eyenegba, Okakuro Bakpolo, Okakuro Recheje, Okakuro Oke, Okakuro Holo, and Okakuro Akpome. All these people were a Kakuro representing the Okpe Supreme Council, Udogwu Okpe chiefs. They appended their signatures to this document. You see them here. They appended their signatures to this document that was made by the colonial masters, that was approved by W.E. Hunt on the 30th day of July 1933. Not an Shekiri person is among them. This order was made under the watchful eyes of our Kakuros, Okpe Supreme Council. The above named stakeholders in this order in the Okpe Kingdom appended their signatures on the 12th day of October 1943 as Okpe Sobo Native Authority, approved on the 24th day of January 1944 by W.C. Wetley, Chief Commissioner, Western Province. This order was further amended by order number 52, by order number 3 of 1952, as a result of various agitations, like I said, when the reserve was to be established from the public with regard to constitution of Okpe Subo Forest Reserve. This order was made under the Forestry Ordinance Cap 75, Western Urobo District Native Authority Forest Reserve, Okpe Subo Forest Amendment Order 1952, first schedule. This order is another document, the final document, final amendment of the laws in 1952. Order number NA, public notice number 3 of 1952. Order made under the Forestry Ordinance Cap 75, Western Urobo Native District Native Authority Forest Reserve, Okpe Subo Forest Amendment Order 1952. This is the very final order, and this order was signed by the Oroje of Okpe, this order made this 6th day of December 1951, signed Chief D.O. Daffy, Esezi 2, Oroje of Okpe Kingdom, for Western Urobo District Native Authority. What document could have been better than a document signed by the Oroje of Okpe in 1951? From the explanation of the records, not one individual of Abigborodo was mentioned pertaining the large expanse of 172 acres of land or thereabout as belonging to inhabitants of Mugele camp in present-day Oton community. Not one Abigborodo person was mentioned. It is preposterous to note that some misformed elements are laying claim to Oton land in Okpe Kingdom under the guise of correspondence between late Okonedo of Abigborodo and the colonial masters, whom the Udogwu Okpe entrusted the Okpe Subo Native Authority Forest Reserve for proper management and use of the Okpe people. They claim by Abigborodo community that Okonedo owns part of the land that forms the forest reserve is false and unfounded, because after critical investigation by the colonial masters in a later number, please take note of this, in a later number 1/43/927/181 from the resident office, Warri Province, dated 22nd January 1941, to the Secretary General, Western Province, Ibadan. The letter number 8489/83 of 13 January 1941 on is received by the colonial masters clearly stated that before any consideration can be made on Chief Alema Okonedo's petition that he wrote, it has to be considered, underline this word, that before any consideration can be made on the agitation of late Okonedo's petition, it has to be considered by the Udogwu Okpe Supreme Council. From the foregoing, it is baffling for a group of mischievous persons to mislead the general public. Like I said, these people are mischievous, misleading the general public that Uchiashe land was exercised from Okpe Urubu Forest Reserve for Okonedo is a misconception of the highest order. The final forestry amendment order of 1952, which I showed you, having considered all interests of landowners, did not put into consideration Okonedo's claim because it lacked merit, because he was trying to claim a land that does not belong to him or his people. This we are experiencing again after 81 years later from his people, because a bridge has been constructed linking Abigborodo and Oton Community, and because of Oton Community's rich oil deposits, they want to come and hijack the oil. That was what prompted the man of Jolomi to carry granites, carry blocks. He wants to come and build a gunpoint at Seplat Junction in Oton land, so that they can bring Seplat to their knees to forcefully recognize them as host community. What a shame. It is a well-known and respected fact all over the world that land issues are decided in law courts and not by security agencies, police stations, DSS, or in a commando style, or ministries. The way Orisha Jolomi Udwan is going about it, unleashing terror on the people of Okpe Kingdom, as we are witnessing today. If he has legitimate claim over Otiashe land, he should fight civil action in the law court. Let me come to the issue as raised by Kubenje in his press release. The issue of the judicial panel of inquiry that was set up by the Delta State government did not find merit. Emmanuel Oshegolom, his representative, Honorable Kubenje, did say in his press release that they are yet to receive the white paper. What a falsehood. This is the judicial panel of inquiry's white paper. It is a document, a public document. You can get it tomorrow if you go to Asaba. You can get it on Monday. It's a working day. The document is, the price tag is 3,000, like newspaper. Look at it. Government white paper on the reports of the judicial panel of inquiry into the Okpe Sobo Forest Reserve and other ancillary matters relating to the reserve portions and encroachment. Like I said, the judicial panel of inquiry that was set up by the Delta State government did not find merit in the man of Jolomi Udwan and his Abigborodo people's agitation of land ownership. That's why they are telling you that the white paper is yet to come out. They are waiting for it. So they want to come and kill the whole of Oton before the white paper comes out. So the allegations by him and his cohorts of sales of Oton Community land by my humble self and members of my committee is baseless, because the land in question belongs to us. You sell what you have, you don't sell what you don't have. The said investigation by the police mentioned by Honorable Kubenje and his report was highly doctored by Emmanuel Oshajolomi Udwan, which I referred to in the judicial panel of inquiry. I appeared in the judicial panel of inquiry, where the CJ of Delta State was the chairman of the panel. The present CJ, Chief Justice died. The report that was highly doctored by Kubenje, by Udwan, that was cited by Kubenje, I refer to it in the judicial panel of inquiry as a kangaroo report. Publicly in government house, I said the report is kangaroo, because neither the police or ministries do not declare land titles. Take note of this. Land titles are only declared in the court of law. So every right-thinking person should not take serious a report from a corrupt police officer who clearly has been induced to put up flimsy and malicious report. So it is misleading that I am standing criminal trial over abuse of my office. Very misleading. I don't know where they got that fast from. The trial I am standing is a trump-up charge, like what Honorable Oganov Abeke and Bakbo are facing today, which the police authority are looking into already. For Kubenje and his like to see the Open Youth Council press release as is misleading is an aberration. If Emmanuel Oshajolomi Udwan can pay every agency to doctor reports, I wonder why he cannot also pay Kubenje and his cohort to come out and inform the general public. In the issue of supposed attack on Emmanuel Oshajolomi Udwan, it is wicked and malicious in nature for any right-thinking person to connect me to it, knowing my kind of person as a peaceful and law-abiding citizen who has served this country meritoriously for 35 good years and rose to the peak of my profession without a single query. The records are there. Rather, it's Oshajolomi and his armed thugs are the ones who have continued to terrorize us, pulling down Oton Community Youth Hall and destroying the car of Abigborodo, who is also languishing in police custody under their false allegation of kidnapping. Like I said, who is still languishing in police detention, who is still being detained on cooked up charges, and many other attacks, too numerous to mention, orchestrated by Emmanuel Oshajolomi and his cohorts. What Oshajolomi and his people are doing is mere intimidation and oppression with the intent to grab Oton Community land. And of course, I know they will never succeed. We have written to various organs of government as a community on the criminality of Chief Emmanuel Oshajolomi Udwan and his cohorts by stationing armed thugs on our land. We have pictures and video clips of their presence on Oton Community land as evidence. He has encroached heavily on our land. The land of Oton has been very peaceful before these recent activities of Emmanuel Oshajolomi Udwan. We are calling on every well-meaning organization, government agencies, peace-loving persons to call Emmanuel Oshajolomi to order. He cannot be bigger than the Delta State government or the federal government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. we are in possession of our land. We have never lost sight of this land one day. Before my own father was born, my father lived for 111 years. He was born here. The land of Shejolomi Udua is accusing me and my people of selling. It's our communal land, ancestral land. We have sold to other individuals, including Abigborodo people. Behind my father's house here, we sold to David. It's an individual of Abigborodo. It's here. We have sold to many Abigborodo people. So I don't know where Oshejolomi Udua is coming from. If he wants land, he should approach the owners of the land, not coming in a brigado style, in a commando style, as a big name to come and grab our land. We will resist him with the little we have. Legally, the land that are sold, like I said, to the general public, including Abigborodo indigenes, are owned by Oton people. Thank you and God bless you.